In 2006, Yves Saint Laurent released its popular fragrance, L'Homme. And since then, they've released a bunch of flankers, but most of them haven't even come close to smelling like the original. Have they finally released a stronger version of the original? Stay tuned and find out. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do another unboxing, first impressions, and update video. This time I come from the house of YSL. It is another flanker from their popular release, L'Homme. We have L'Homme Le Parfum. So L'Homme Le Parfum from the house of Yves Saint Laurent is a men's woody aromatic fragrance released in 2020. The noses behind this fragrance are Anne Filippo, Dominique Ropion, and Juliette Caraguziglau, also IFF, and this is an Eau de Parfum concentration. All right, let's check out this presentation. All right, here's the box for L'Homme, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this box. It looks exactly like the other boxes from all of the other flankers. We just have a blue here. Comes like in a gray with some silver here. Other than that, not too much going on with this box. Let's check out the bottle. All right, so here's the bottle for L'Homme Le Parfum. Again, it looks exactly like the other flankers from the line. The only difference is this does have, I believe it's blue juice. I don't think it's a blue glass. It looks like blue juice. Sort of, it does look like the EAU Electrique they came out with a few years ago. I think I did a video on that one. I will link that one below. But yeah, pretty much the same bottle. It does say YSL on top. Other than that, not too much going on with this bottle. All right, so here are the notes for L'Homme Le Parfum. In the top, we have ozonic notes, cardamom, and lemon. In the mid, we have geranium, violet leaf, and basil. And in the base, you round things off with amberwood, cedar, and vetiver. Yeah, so I do have a lot of experience with the house of Yves Saint Laurent, more specifically this line. I've really tried a lot of their flankers. I really do like the original L'Homme because it just smells really, really good and always garners a lot of compliments. But honestly, it doesn't last very long. I think that was a lot of people's biggest complaint with that fragrance. Smells fantastic, garners compliments, but it always fades really fast. I think there's been a couple of companies out there that have put out clones of it, and they've done a pretty good job of with the longevity and the projection. But there's nothing just beats the original, and I'm really just hoping this is going to smell like the original release, just stronger. You guys know, if you guys watch my videos, that's just all I ask for. Give me a stronger version of the original. Now, I will say the original does have ginger, and this does not have ginger in it, and I think the ginger is what really gives it its personality. Don't quote me on that. I've always just felt that. I always thought that nice creamy ginger. I think it mixes with the cardamom and the lemon notes in the original formula. Now, this does keep the cardamom and the lemon, and I want to say there's some wood notes out there in the base that are similar to the original, but I always thought that the ginger note was going to be what really gives it that L'Homme feel. But like I always say, these perfumers nowadays, they can make anything smell like something else. They just use different notes, and it smells exactly the same as the original. So I'm hoping that they did that. I want to say 3 of the noses, if not 2, were on the original team that formulated the original L'Homme. So I'm going to guess they know what they're doing. If they created the original, then they know what this one should smell like. Only stronger or just a little bit more complex. But yeah, without further ado, let's give this fragrance a first impression because I'm really looking forward to trying this one. So let's check it out. All right, here we go. Clean hand. This will also be my scent of the evening. These always have really good sprayers, so I'm hoping that it's going to be the same. Clean hand, here we go. Decent sprayer. Okay, all right. Sort of getting a little bit of the original. It smells citrusy, sweet. Getting the ozonic notes in this. But I can agree that this does remind me a little bit of the EAU Electrique, or how you guys want to pronounce it. Because that one has a bit of a citrusy, sweet thing going. That one's more orange blossom. A lot sweeter than this one. This one is more... it's sweet. It's more fruity sweet, more citrusy sweet. Sort of reminds me a little bit of Y, maybe. Which is, I want to say that's a YSL fragrance too, isn't it? Yeah. So it sort of has a little bit of that going. Maybe that's what I heard. Maybe I heard it smells like Y with the EAU Electrique and then the original. Which Honestly, it's not a bad combination, but if you already own Y, then I don't know why you're going to need this one. This smells nice though, but honestly, I'm not really getting, maybe here in a couple of minutes in the dry down, but I'm getting a little bit of the original DNA, but it's not a lot. But this doesn't smell bad. It just sort of smells familiar, honestly. And I say it smells familiar, not saying it because it reminds me of the original, even though it does a little bit. I'm getting that loam DNA. I'm getting a little bit of that sweet, sort of citrusy sexiness, the cardamom and whatnot. But I think this one's really missing that ginger note. Now, again, I'm not an expert, on these things, but like I said before, I really thought that ginger was what really, the ginger and the cardamom, and there was some sweetness that I think that came from the citrus notes that really gave it that. Now, this has the cardamom and the citrus notes, but I think it's just missing that zing that the ginger brought to the table. But this is still a nice fragrance. Yeah, I'm not really having any complaints. Smells a bit familiar. Again, I'm in more like mainstream, and we all know that these designers are going to be really directed towards the masses. They're going to be mainstream smelling. This is not a bad fragrance. Am I in love with it right now? No, it's good. It is a flanker, so it has to smell like the original. So that's why I'm like trying to be fair with this one, right? This isn't supposed to be some original release. This is supposed to have a bit of the loam DNA in it. And I will say it does. It really does. It's just like different. It's almost like getting to the same destination, but it's going a different route to get there. Because I'm getting the loam DNA, but there's also a lot more going on with it. And obviously there's different notes in this. So, I mean, that makes sense. Now, is it going to last longer than the original? Obviously, time will tell. But right now, when I'm breathing in, I'm sort of getting that original loam DNA. So they succeeded in doing that, at least. It's not exact by any means, but just breathing in, I'm like, okay, I'm getting that familiar sexiness that I really, really liked from the original loam. Now, honestly, I thought this was for granted, I said this was released in 2020. I was looking on there just to kind of, get my information. I thought it was released later on, like last year at least. But apparently they have a Eau de Parfum coming out in 22. I saw something for that on for Granica as well. So if they have a new release coming out, this is the one that I heard that everyone's been talking about. I heard this is the one that people are really, really liking. Not saying it's better than the original, but they're saying they really liked it. I mean, this definitely has, right now, has a little bit of power to it. I can tell it's going to have a little bit of performance. So that's good, because that was one of the biggest complaints with the original. I mean, it's going to take a little bit of time for me to really figure out if this one has like that, if it goes more into the original or not. But right now, this isn't a bad fragrance. Like I said, I'm definitely getting that DNA. It's a little bright. Maybe that's the ozonic notes. Yeah, it's something it's almost like, not saying it smells like ambroxan, because we know nowadays a lot of fragrances have ambroxan. It's something in this, which I'm guessing it's going to be the ozonic notes, that gives it a bit of that, like, that ambroxan feel. It's just a little bit, though. That's probably the best way I can really describe ozonic notes, is that they sort of have an ambroxan feel, but they're not as strong or in your face as like a Sauvage or any of those fragrances. This one just has like that bright sort of thing going with it. But yeah, not a bad fragrance. This definitely has a sexy vibe to it. I can already tell it's a sexy fragrance. You won't get negative attention with this fragrance. I think it smells nice. But like I said, time will tell. I think in the air, it will probably smell more like loam than on my skin. And at the end of the day, that's it's better than nothing right now. But I'm going to guess one of these days they're just going to make a stronger version of that original formula. But not a bad fragrance, guys. I don't want to spend too much time on the first half of the video, because I'm going to wear this one tonight over the next couple of days and give you guys an update shortly. So hopefully it gets better, and maybe it's the loam that I've been L'Homme flanker that I've been waiting for, guys. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Hey, what's up, you guys? Just want to bring you guys a quick update on the L'Homme Le Parfum from the house of Yves Saint Laurent. I did spend the last couple of days with this fragrance, and I gotta say, I do like this fragrance. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this update because this fragrance is best described as a modern version of L'Homme, because it does have that opening that reminded me of Y, or a little bit of that EAU Electrique, but I will say it reminds me of Y in the opening, or any of the Y flankers, because it does has that sweet, fresh DNA. You can probably compare it to maybe a couple of other fragrances out there, but then it slowly goes into the L'Homme DNA, which is nice. I will say this is a good fragrance. It smells really, really good. I will say this does have a modern twist to it. That's the best way I can describe this fragrance, because it just the way that I sort of compared it to those two fragrances. Starts off like Y, goes into the L'Homme DNA, which I do like. And they did accomplish that without doing ginger. So I'm guessing the ginger had nothing to do with that DNA, because I really do get a lot of that. This is a very sexy fragrance. It's fresh and safe and inviting in the opening, and it goes into that sexiness. So honestly, it's a best of two worlds with this fragrance. It definitely is the best of two worlds, because it covers, maybe it even covers more spectrums than the original L'Homme, because this one has a bit of both. So longevity for this fragrance. Now, the first time I wore it, I did the spray that I sprayed on my hand, I did actually smell it the next day. That will lead me to think it was 8 hours. I'll just be safe and say 6 to 8 hours, just because I didn't really get it off my skin that strongly after 8 hours. And maybe because it's down here in my hand, just like I can kind of bury it. So I will say 6 to 8 hours, which is pretty decent. It is an Eau de Parfum concentration, so I guess that's average. But compared to the original L'Homme, definitely better in the longevity department. Projection was okay. Maybe the first hour, 2 hours, maybe even 2.5 hours, was a lot stronger than the original L'Homme. But it's not a beast or anything by any means. We'll get to the seasons in a minute. But I will say that probably the warmer weather will help this one in the projection category. But overall, I will say the longevity and the projection was better in this fragrance than the original L'Homme. So the seasons for this fragrance are going to be the warmer months of the year. While I do think you can probably wear this one in cooler weather, I do think that the heat will help the performance of this fragrance. So I definitely think spring, summer, early fall will be perfect for this fragrance. Again, like I always say, you guys can wear fragrances whenever you want, but I'm just saying, I think it'll definitely help. And I think this fragrance will stand out more on your skin in the warmer to hotter weather. Occasions for this fragrance, man, I do think this can be worn all day, I think. The reason I say that is because it has that fresh opening, that Y opening. Sorry to keep referring to that one, but I'm just trying to, keep it in layman's terms here. But that fruity, fresh, safe opening, which makes me it makes me think of casual day wear. And it does go into that L'Homme, right? And that's, to me, I've always liked L'Homme. I always thought L'Homme was more, even though there's a lot of wheat, I think L'Homme is a very, very sexy date fragrance. So women love L'Homme. That DNA just does something, and this one does have that DNA. So I do think this can easily go into wearing this one for evening time as well. So I do definitely think casual day wear is fine. Evening wear, date night, safe for work. Not strong enough for a club, but if it's just an evening out, maybe not so crowded, you might be able to get some attention wearing this fragrance at a club as well, or like a smaller sort of gathering. Ages for this fragrance, I'm going to say, are probably 20 and up is safe. Right now, this one is still like retail. And even if you go online and find it, it's still pretty expensive, honestly. I think that these things really hold their value online, unfortunately. You can't really get these for less unless you're part of a group and someone's just wanting to trade a bottle or just selling a partial off. But I do think the 20 and up could easily pull this fragrance off. And, I guess it's like 100 and something, but 125 bucks. Not the most expensive fragrance. But I think 20 and up is safe age range for this fragrance. Overall, I do like this fragrance. I don't think it's really anything new. I don't think it's anything spectacular, but I do think they made a better version of the original. Right now, this might be the closest flanker to the original L'Homme that I've tried. I've tried some of the other ones, and they smell nothing like the original, to my nose anyway, and it's been a while. So this is a good fragrance. I like it. I would wear this one over the original just because this one has better performance, but the original is still good. So this is a good flanker, I will say. If you're looking for a stronger version of the original, get this one. If you're looking for a modern version of the original, get this one. I do think this is probably one of their better releases from these flankers. EAU Electrique, even though it's discontinued, people are going crazy for that one right now. Wasn't my favorite. All the La Nuits have fallen on their face since the original release of that one, which was one of my favorites as well. There is a new one that I haven't tried yet because it's really hard to find, and maybe I'll get my hands on a bottle, and hopefully maybe that one is what I want. But all that being said, I will say this is a good version of L'Homme. Not the same DNA, but it's a modern take on that fragrance. So if you like L'Homme from YSL, you're going to probably like this one, especially with the fact that it opens up and it has like that, the Y opening or whatever, you know. So I definitely think you guys should try this one. It's at Macy's. It's at Dillard's. You can probably spray your wrist and walk around the mall for free and see if you like this one. I recommend this one, at least trying it, not blind buying it by any means, but try this one because you might be pleasantly surprised and you might go, oh, this is the version that I've been looking for. So there you go. So there's no hate for this fragrance here. I think this is a decent release. It doesn't go away from the original like the other ones did. There's some La Nuits that came out. They're just completely left field. And there was an earlier L'Homme that came out, a super bright orange juice, kind of like that new one coming out. And that one fell on its face as well. So I'm sort of rambling now. But guys, what are your thoughts on this fragrance? Have you tried this fragrance? Let me know your thoughts on this fragrance down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experience on this fragrance down in the comments because let me know if I'm crazy or if you guys agree with me. Because I do think this is a good fragrance, guys. So thank you guys so much for watching another video on my channel. If you like this video, please click that like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications for future first impressions videos. First set of content just like this. Guys, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Dollars and Cents. There, you find first slated photos and future contest winners. And guys, as always, till next video, you guys take care. Thanks.